Hey everyone, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So, we are going to take a look at the spiritual awakening, putting that in quotes, symptoms. I was kind of curious about this topic and I put a call out on the channel. I did a post asking if people had questions about how you might experience, let's just not even say awakening. I think it's more vibrational. Every time your vibration rises or every time there's a planetary shift, are we feeling that physically, or is it just our physical bodies when we feel certain symptoms? Is it just our physical bodies having certain symptoms? Do you know what I mean? Like what the difference might be? So I'm kind of curious. So you guys asked a lot of questions, really great ones. We've got about 31 questions to go through with the Lead Team Collective. Okay, so let's find out, is this physical, emotional, psychological? What are all these shifts that we have to contend with as human beings? And is that, again, just a fact of living on Earth? Or is there something more going on? That's really what I want to find out. Okay. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the Lead Team Collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the Lead Team Collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hello, Lead Team. How's it going today? Oh, they're really good. Look at that. Thank you, as always, for all your guidance and support of each of us individually in this community as well as collectively. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So we've got questions for you regarding our physical, emotional, psychological experience on Earth. And is there anything in front of me that would not be in our best interest to know? No? Okay, very good. And while I'm at it, as I remember, if you could just clear any of my own personal energy that might, show up as some bias in the answers, that would be amazing. Okay, so is my energy cleared then? Yes. And I guess, I never really thought about this, but we just want clear vibrational answers, not based on any one particular in the community, not based on the community collective as well. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? Okay. Does this something I have to ask for every time? No? Okay. So we could just go forward knowing that this is my wish, is that we have clear energy on these responses so that we get, I'm not even going to say the word honest because of course they're honest with us, but I don't know how much energy interferes, right? That's why I talk about this. Okay, so if you could just always clear before we get started on a session, whether I ask or not, any energy that would interfere with the answer that is the most helpful for us to know. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So question number 1. I haven't read through these, so I'm excited to see what they are. Does moving to 5D require the death of the physical body? Oh my goodness. Good question. No, we've never asked that question before. No, it does not. Well, that's good to know. Are you guys just saying that so we don't have to freak out, or no? Okay. All right. Can an individual undergo a sudden awakening rather than a gradual process? Yes. Does that tend to happen during traumatic situation, like after a traumatic situation? Yes. Okay. Is it possible to undergo an awakening without experiencing any physical symptoms? No. That's good to know. That's good to know. And again, I'm kind of looking at the word, I'm just using the word awakening right now which I think is, some people might think it's overused. But I think it's more of a high, like raising our vibrations. So, lead team, do you see it that way? Like an awakening is the same thing as raising our vibration? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we could use both of those terms. I kind of like the raising the vibration. Let's see if I can use it throughout here. Will every human on Earth eventually raise their vibration? Yes. But it will be at different levels, correct? Yes, just like what we would call an awakening is at different levels too. Yes. So, because if you can imagine, we all have shadows, right? Shadow work to do. Everybody's shadows are so different. And they could be the exactly same shadows, but different levels. You can be raised by the exactly same parents and have a completely different experience based on the age of your parents, right? So we'll just, you've heard the analogy of the onion where you're peeling the layers of the onion, and maybe the very center is your soul. And as you peel the layers of the onion, you get closer and closer to understanding who you really are and feeling it. Like then your vibration is really high. But everybody's layers, like this first layer, you could have the exactly same experience as someone else, but their first layer could be this thick and yours could be this thick. So getting through that first layer for you may take a lifetime, where that other person's layer, it may take 10 years, or it could be super thin, right? So that's why we have to be really gentle with one another, regardless of how they behave. Doesn't mean we have to accept their behavior, but it's tolerance, right? I don't know. I'm not sure how to use the best words on that, but anyways, you know what I'm saying with the onion. Okay. All right. Can ringing in the ears sometimes be a form of communication from spirit guides? Yes, and I remember answering this once before, so there's really wide swing. So you guys, I've had some crackling in my right ear. Is that communication from the spirit guides? No. Is that just fluid in the tube of my ear? Yes. So my doctor just told me to go like this. Blow it out. I guess I said, well, should I go to an ear doctor? And she said, that's what they're going to tell you to do. I'm like, okay. It's actually been working. If I feel a little crackle, I'll just do that. Only when it was like if something got loud, I would get crackling. Does the specific ear experiencing ringing, left versus right, carry a unique meaning? No, it does not. So one person could hear something in their right ear and one person in their left, and it's still the same form of communication? Yes. Okay. Is chronic illness sometimes a physical manifestation of blocked spiritual energy? Yes. Well, I'm going to change the word. Is chronic illness always a physical manifestation of blocked physical energy? Yes. So we're talking about the Akashic records in the Spirit Circle during Coffee with Karen. And that's like one of my interests in having an Akashic. I mean, you could access your own Akashic records. That's what the book we're reading is teaching us if you want to. I'm not sure I want to personally, but I was thinking about hiring somebody because if you can find out what the blocked energy is, then you have a better chance of working on it, right? And that's really what this author that we're reading, How to Read the Akashic Records, I'll post the book below. That's basically what she teaches, is the reason to access is for healing purposes. At least that's one of the big ones she talks about. So that kind of makes sense. Because once you're aware, then it's something you can work on, right? But if you're not aware, it's trial and error constantly. So can awakening symptoms be severe enough to mimic a serious virus or disease? Yes. Well, geez, oh, Pete's. What? Again, it's that vibration. It's your body. Okay, so is our body adapting to a different frequency? Is that what's happening? So it's yes. So it's all about adaptation to a higher frequency, a higher vibration, and okay, yes. Is the virus or disease in this situation I just saw a turkey walk by. I love that so much. We have a group of community turkeys, and I love when I see them every day. Does the virus or disease come about to give us the opportunity to slow down? Is that why? Yes. So is the higher vibration, working on that adapting to the higher vibration, is that causing the virus or disease? No. Okay. So are we just taking on that virus to force ourselves to slow down? Yes. So if we just slow down more, is there a chance that we would prevent the virus or disease? Yes. Entertainment purposes only, obviously. Okay, and this is not medical advice. All right, that's interesting. So we can adapt to a shift in vibration without having a virus or a disease. Yes. Is this something that would be helpful for us to be aware of as humans on Earth? Yes. Okay, very good. Just a really good reason to keep taking care of yourself first. Oxygen mask on you first. Okay? Slow down. Anything now this year that my whole mantra is if something causes me stress, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm getting prepared for my body to keep shifting higher and higher. And sometimes I don't know it's going to cause me stress. And then once I realize, I'm like, yep, not doing it. Is the sensation of energy flowing in and out of the feet a normal part of the process? Wow, yeah, really wide swing. I haven't had that experience. I'll have to pay attention. So energy flowing in and out of the feet, yes. Maybe some of you who are much more attuned to energy, you might be able to really see that or feel that. That's interesting. Okay. Or Reiki masters, you probably know how the energy comes in and out of the body. Wow, that's amazing. Can the awakening process or shift in our vibration cause physical vibrations in the third eye area? Yes. Does it always? No. Okay. Very small no. I don't know if they're just stuck or... All right. So we could experience physical vibrations. What about nervous system? Your nervous system gets a little shaky. Yes. So when that happens to me, which had happened over the last couple days, I have to think to myself, okay, did I change anything in my diet? Did I just come back from a vacation? I have to think of these things. Did I add a new supplement? Those kind of things before and if the answer is yes, 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 then I go, okay, that's probably what's going on. Yes. Okay. Does the awakening process have a direct effect on existing conditions like epilepsy? Yes, it can. Okay, again, not medical advice. Okay, interesting. Are bouts of high and low blood pressure, wow, they're already saying yes, linked to spiritual shifts? Not always, though. Again, let's be careful here. Not a medical doctor, don't have any training whatsoever. Okay, so yes, it could be. It could be. Is that, do you still recommend, though, even if we suspect that's the case, that we get it treated? Yes, because it's still affecting our physical body. Yes. Okay. All right. Are feelings of loneliness and alienation common when others remain content in 3D? Yes, it's common. So I'm assuming this means like people around you. So you start to feel loneliness and alienation when you don't want to live in that 3D anymore. Yes. Okay. Yep. I think this is good. Hopefully this is helpful for people to hear this. You'll have to let me know. Not like, I don't want it to be disturbing. I hope it's helpful. This way you can, at least when you're having some kind of physical reaction to something, you could think to yourself, is this, well, I think it always is meant to slow us down. So when we have any kind of physical condition or reaction to something, is it really always meant for us to slow down? Wow. Okay. So yes, is that the universe just telling us because we're moving pretty fast nowadays? Yes. Well, let's just say we were born with a condition. Is that the universe's way of saying you are meant to live a slower life because of the spiritual, because of how you're going to be raising your vibration? Wow, they're saying yes. That's interesting. Wow, you'll have to let me know what you think about that, you guys. Okay, will we experience, oh, here, I missed one. Well, let's just do that one. Will we experience a greater displeasure in social gatherings with those who are not kindred spirits? Yes, I've been using that word for a long time. I'll say to somebody, we're like kindred spirits. You know where I got it? Have you guys ever watched the original series of Anne of Green Gables? Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. And probably not only do I love it just because it's so charming. If you haven't seen it, oh, you are in for a treat. But I watched it for the first time. It's probably like 8 hours long. It's a series. And I watched it for the first time with my mom over Christmas when we both had the flu. So I didn't appreciate having the flu, but I do appreciate having that experience with her. Okay. And so she introduced it to me. Is a natural desire to retreat into silence a sign of moving towards 5D? Yes. Okay, well, that's good to know because I feel like I am really enjoying slowing down for the first time in my life. I'm enjoying less chaos, one thing a day type of thing. I'm like, nope, I already did my one thing for today. It's pretty interesting, actually. Because normally in my 3D life, I would be like, got to get this done, da, 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 da. Can't sit down. That's just lazy, It's so much better here. Is being able to observe your own shadow behavior in real time a sign of progress? Yes, very good. I can totally see mine now. Yes, yes. Does an awakening lead to a state of compassion without emotional attachment to outcomes? Yes, and keep that in mind as you look at the political state of the United States or the world right now. Okay, it can lead to a state of compassion without emotional attachment to the outcomes. And that's, again, the layers. Okay, because if you can think of Trump, his outer layer of his onion must be like a mile long because he ain't coming anywhere close to that center. Regardless of what your politics are, you can't argue that he's a nice guy. You can never, unless you don't actually listen to his tweets. If you don't, I mean, he's mean. He's just mean. He's a bully. He's a playground bully, right? So his outer layer, so you can have compassion for that because it's like, why? Why is his outer layer of his onion so freaking long? You know? So you can have compassion for that, but not have emotional attachment and not have emotional attachments to whatever his outcomes are. It is possible. It's very hard to get it past the ego, though. It's very hard because my ego is always like, oh, how could he? You know, that type of thing. So, all right. Is an increase in vivid or weird dreams a sign of awakening? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I've been having a lot of them lately. Yes. So it's a sign of our vibration raising. Yes. Are we clearing when we're dreaming these weird dreams? Is that what we're doing? Oh, yes. Okay. So our psyche is clearing away during our dream state so we can clear things during while we're sleeping so we don't have to clear them while we're awake? Yes. Okay, fine by me. As long as I can sleep. Does recalling visits to the astral plane indicate spiritual growth? Yes. Or does it just, well, not just, but does it indicate you've developed clairs? Yes. If you develop your clairs, are you more spiritually awakened than others? No. Are you have you raised your vibration more at times more than others? Yes. Which is interesting if we're looking at spiritual awakening and raising your vibration as the same thing. But if you, I don't have my clairs developed. Well, I guess you can, yeah. I guess I do. I think it's clairaudient because I'm starting to actually hear messages on the pendulum before they just have to give me one letter. They have to give me one letter and then I can, I get the phrase, but I don't know if that's just coming from, they tell me I'm hearing them, but I don't know if it's just coming from experience and knowing the type of language they use. You know what I mean? Do vaccines, oh my God, this is not medical advice. Cut, clear, cancel. Do not take this as medical advice. Do vaccines interfere with the spiritual awakening process? Thank goodness. No. 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 Okay, I'm not even going to ask any questions about vaccines. Like, should we get vaccines? You need to ask them. They're saying yes. Okay, all right, sassy. They're saying yes and no. So they were answering anyway. So yes or no, it just depends. Depends on the person. Do solar flares trigger physical symptoms? Wow. Yes, they're saying already. Like ear ringing or elevated blood pressure. Yes. Okay. All right. Interesting. Again, these are all because that it's good to be aware of these so then you can just take better care. Or you're going, why is my blood pressure rising right now? Was there a solar flare recently? Will 3D and 5D dimensions exist on Earth simultaneously? Yes, they already do. Do they already exist on Earth simultaneously? Yes, because I was definitely in 3D. I was definitely hanging out in the 3D all last year. Then when my faucet shifted off, it just turned off. And spirit was like, I mean, it has to be that because I didn't consciously, I just woke up one morning. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not even like, I just like shifted to the 5D. Yes. Okay. And it may not be like what we anticipate, like where I'm saying I'm in 5D, but life is very, very different than it was 2 months ago for me. So, and I dabble every once in a while. I keep dabbling a little bit, but not like I was doing. So can individuals in 5D still see and interact with those remaining in 3D? Yes. it's a choice thing, right? It's a free will choice. Yes, but you don't have to. Is it possible for individuals in 5D to never see and interact with those remaining in 3D? Yes, because remember, energy attracts energy, like attracts like. So the more you live in the 5D, taking care of yourself, keeping yourself, just not watching that stuff, whatever the 3D is, the more you're going to attract less of it to your experience. So it kind of all makes sense, doesn't it? At least it's starting to make sense to me. It's taken me a long time. Does a previous awakening experience, like a jolt, let's say, make the current process more intense? No, not necessarily, I guess. Can it make the current process more intense? Yes. Would that, I don't know, if there's something that just made me feel like maybe a little PTSD? Yes. Okay, so maybe it's a little PTSD that would cause that. So do we need to work on, I don't know, I guess I'm relating the awakening with a jolt of awakening would be like a traumatic experience, is what they said. It's usually when somebody does a quick awakening, right? Like I had breast cancer when I was 32. Boy, oh boy, did that awaken me. Do I have PTSD from it? No, I don't. And I was actually very glad after it was over to go through the process because I was fine. But it really changed. It helped my vibration. It really did. Because I was kind of worried about getting breast cancer. I'm not saying I attracted it, but I was 32. It was environmental. It was not hormonal. As far as the testing that we did back then, I hear they have new testing now, so I might just curious to do it. But anyways, so yeah, but I could have had PTSD, around it, and maybe it would make the next time make the current process more intense based on that. If you haven't worked through all of the different, fears that maybe you had during that time or whatever. So they're saying yes. Will the upcoming year of disclosure in 2026 or 2027 be focused on spiritual awakenings? Oh, wow. Yes. Meaning people will experience many more spiritual awakenings because of the disclosure? Yes. Okay. Does talking directly to your own body encourage physical healing? Wow, I have done that. Like, I've actually been like, just a couple times, I'm like, you know what? As much crap that I have put in here, I'm like, thank you so much. How much more crap can you put in a body, right? And I just have been like, you're amazing. I've done that a couple times recently because it is our physical bodies, even at like I have breakdowns, I have certain breakdowns. But if you think about it, wow, it is really, and I think if we have that sort of reverence for our physical bodies rather than being so hard on ourselves, again, that's an energy shift, right? So try that. Try being so appreciative. I guess, yeah, I think if we, try 30 days of appreciation for your body, of all the things you appreciate, and just be like, you're amazing. You are amazing that I can walk up and down the street with gas flying by me in cars and just breathing it in. And my body adapts to that. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. Think of how much your body has adapted. Isn't that incredible? That's our takeaway for today, you guys. That is our takeaway for today. Let's hang on to that, okay? Because that shift is a huge vibrational shift. And then the more you go there, the more your body will be like, yeah, let's, yeah, we want to stay on earth longer without pain, without, hardship. So let's appreciate it. I don't know. I'm feeling that's the takeaway for today. Thank you for whoever asked that question. All your questions, actually. But that one got to me in a different way. Can we perform a collective clearing to alleviate awakening symptoms? Yes. Would you guys like to do that next? Okay, I'll do a collective clearing on that. So they're saying yes. Okay. I think I'll do a separate video for a collective clearing on awakening symptoms. So I'll just record that next. So it'll probably come out tomorrow. Okay. Does visualizing the earth filling with light accelerate our vibration, right? Rising our vibration or the awakening of consciousness? Oh, wow. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's a good one. Can we ask our spirit guides to stop awakening symptoms without halting our process? Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's just stop it, you guys. Stop it. Well, or at least give us the guidance. Give us the guidance. But remember, like, have you guys ever seen people who don't, you've ever seen like documentaries on people who don't feel pain at all and how serious that is? That's not good, because they bruise, they break things, they don't even know it. So, there's a reason for the physical pain, right? So they're saying yes. But sometimes we get a little tired of it, you guys. Sometimes it gets exhausting and it can get in the way of our joy. So I think that's what we'll do with the clearing is, whatever is getting in the way of our joy, but not to completely alleviate, only if, for the things that we need, right? Okay, last question. Do our spirit guides ever look at our awakening symptoms and wish they could just send us a simple text message instead? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They probably are sending us text messages like tap, 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 tap. Please hear me. Please hear me. I think all of us, is it true? This just came to me. Do we all hear our spirit guides? Yes, but we often think it's our brains giving us messages. Yes. Okay. All right. So when we come up with a new idea or sudden awareness of something or an awakening, we get kicked out of some kind of symptom we're experiencing, whether maybe it's depression or something. Is that our spirit teams helping us? Yes. Okay. We just don't give them enough credit, I don't think, you guys. Yes. Do you guys want more credit? Yes. They want more credit. See? They have a sense of humor. Of course, they would say no. But they have a sense of humor. All right, lead team, thank you so much. This was really, really helpful. And I will see you, both of you, the lead team and you, in the next video tomorrow when we do what are we doing? We're going to do a clearing to alleviate awakening symptoms. All right, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.